Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. As much as it annoys me to say it, unfortunately, Call of Duty is just kind of down bad right now. And they don't seem to be helping themselves in any capacity. And I wanted to talk about a little bit of why they are down bad, how I think it seems maybe they are more down bad than we might even realize because they're doing some really bizarre things right now. For starters, we got to talk of what's coming up here. Obviously, this month in general, especially towards the end, is going to be a lot busier. We're in kind of like an awkward sort of gray area right now, just kind of in limbo waiting because, let's face it, the Season 5 update back when that dropped was pretty mid, and then that was overshadowed by the Battlefield 6 beta, of course. And then Season 5 Reloaded, as we just talked about, this is sort of piggybacking off of our discussion the other day, basically it wasn't hardly an update. Like, if you told me there was an update and I had no prior knowledge, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference on the vast majority of stuff. Like, nothing really changed. Really disappointing season in general. We're all kind of just sitting here waiting. Okay, we know Season 6, at least that's got the haunting. That's something to look forward to. We've got COD next at the end of the month, so hopefully some big reveals there. And then obviously the Black Ops 7 beta. But things already looking towards that, at least from COD's POV, might be struggling, might be a little bit down bad because we already know they have like these pre-order bonuses, right? Like the big thing is pre-order now, get the Reznov challenge pack in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and everything like that, right? You get early access to the beta. So like they've already been promoting their pre-orders as is, and we've already seen their pre-order numbers have not been great so far. Like when we look at the best selling options, we sort by that on the PlayStation Store. I want to look at this for what it's worth, just because through Game Pass, it seems like they're counting Game Pass subscriptions as pre-ordering the game. So like Xbox charts and everything aren't necessarily super accurate, whereas that's just not a thing on PlayStation. But last week, Black Ops 7 jumped up to, I believe it was number 6 past Battlefield for a little bit, and now it's back behind the Battlefield Premium Edition. The Vault Edition is numbers 8 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can count. It's true. So that's up at number 8. The base version's even lower than that. So it's kind of interesting that the Vault Edition's being pre-ordered more than the base version, especially before we've even had hands-on. Some people just must really be excited about that Reznov challenge pack in Call of Duty Warzone. But like these numbers are not great for COD, just because dating back to years past, even in games where there wasn't a ton of hype, Modern Warfare 3, a lot of it was, oh, this is an MW2 DLC, or Vanguard, we're going back to World War II. Like those games are still top pre-order sellers. Like they were top of the charts. That's how Call of Duty always is like gets released and right away it's the #1 most pre-ordered. Black Ops 7 has struggled to be even in like the top 3, the top 5 so far this year. And it seems like Call of Duty has kind of responded to that in maybe a bit of a panic, maybe a bit of urgency, going, oh, we need to get people to pre-order this game, which for what it's worth, we haven't really even seen anything. We've hardly gotten any details on multiplayer. Like all that's coming at COD next. We have campaign stuff, which is hit or miss for some people. I don't know why you would pre-order a game without having a chance to try it, which is what the open beta is for. That'd be my recommendation. Don't pre-order until you get your hands on, so you can truly figure out, okay, do I like it? Do I not like it? Or at least see live footage of people playing it rather than like the scripted, prompts that they do throughout their trailers. That's obviously made up gameplay. That's not, natural by any means. It's them scripting out the scene and using it in the trailer, so the pre-order numbers right now don't make much sense to be crazy high, whereas Battlefield 6, we got hands-on, we got to play the beta, so like we know what we're getting out of that, whereas with Black Ops 7 it's still a mystery. But COD seems to try and be urgently trying to get people to pre-order. They posted this out of the blue the other night, completely out of nowhere, saying new camo that changes dynamically when firing digitally. Pre-order Black Ops 7 and instantly unlock the guild override camo. And this camo is now available because of Season 5 Reloaded. But like it's a cool camo. I think it actually looks sick, but it's really bizarre that they're now coming up with new pre-order bonuses on the fly, right in the middle of the time where pre-orders are not going over incredibly well. Like that to me kind of says maybe they're getting a little bit more desperate on wanting to have better pre-order numbers. Maybe things aren't as high as they want them right now. Like we'll never actually publicly know for sure about that, but it is something to monitor, because this is not always a thing where completely out of the blue they just drop new pre-order bonuses and it's like, hey, our numbers are great, but also here's even more rewards. Like that just wouldn't be a thing in that scenario. This to me seems like it's a scenario that happens when numbers are down and they need another incentive to maybe get players to jump on and pre-order digitally in specific here. But that's not the only thing right now that kind of makes it seem like Call of Duty is down bad in its current state. And by the way, even though it might be down bad, we still got constant stuff happening in Call of Duty. So if you guys want to stay up to date with everything, maybe you're holding out hope for things to get better, or you just like to see the chaos that is some of the updates and other things that go on with COD every single day, I got you covered with everything you need to know. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and if you enjoy this video, a like rating is always seriously appreciated as well. But I also wanted to look at the Steam charts because we haven't looked at this in some time, and I always try and preface this, I don't try and weigh a ton on Steam charts. It's more so just indicative of what's going on elsewhere as well, because of the various data that we've got from like Circana and other outlets analyzing Call of Duty and player accounts for like PlayStation and stuff in the past. Like, we've gotten generally accurate player-based numbers, although much more broad. It's not like on a day-to-day thing, but like the monthly active users, we have information on that, and through that we could go through and we could like see, okay, in March they said they had this many active users, and we saw Steam had this many, so this equates to Steam being 5% of the total player base. So give or take a few percentage stats there, but Steam is roughly about 5% of the player base based on the information that we've seen before. So like saying this is Call of Duty as a whole, oh, there's only 30,000 players on an hour ago, it's completely dead, it's not a super accurate statement. There were only 30,000 players on what is like 5% of the player base platform. So it's much higher than that across PC, Microsoft Store, across BNet, especially across Xbox, across PlayStation. This is hardly to say this is every single number here, but it's indicative of trends. When there's a lot more people jumping on Steam, there's probably also a lot more people jumping on the other platforms. When there's people leaving in waves on Steam, there's also probably people leaving in waves on other platforms. And you can see Call of Duty has been on the decline for some time now, especially after we got more information about Black Ops 7. I mean, the only positive thing here since the Black Ops 6 launch was Verdansk back in April, which got back a good chunk of players. And we've even heard reports saying that Call of Duty was really happy with how Verdansk did on its return. But here's the thing, since then, lost 13%, lost another 8%, lost 7%, lost 16% in August, which seemingly was players jumping over to the Battlefield 6 beta, was players not being super happy with the state of COD, really. Black Ops 7 not really being their jam. The peak player counts continue to get a little bit lower and lower constantly. So like, they have not been able to capitalize at all off the Verdansk return. I think a lot of that is to blame on the fact that they haven't updated it hardly. The meta has been basically the same since Verdansk dropped, with a few tweaks here and there. Yeah, we got a couple of new POI updates, nothing major, and they're very few and far between. Like, they had this chance to really cause a, no pun intended, resurgence in players here, and they completely missed it and whiffed on it, at least continuing the hype. They got the hype back with Verdansk, but then they completely blew it, capitalizing on it continuously. So it's just getting worse and worse right now every month. And this is not helping feed into the hype of, Black Ops 7 by any means. Now, this number will spike up some when we have the Black Ops 7 beta in October and everything. But like, Call of Duty is on a downward trend right now, and it isn't really responding in any major way to it. Instead of, seeing the games in a downward trend, okay, yeah, we're going to come out with a crazy cool update. Not saying they can recreate the Verdansk hype again by any means, but like, you could add in classic maps, Vondel, Ashika. Yeah, they can't really do all Mazra unless they take out Verdansk because of the tech and stuff, but like, adding in rotations could bring players back. Having actual substantial updates could bring players back. Instead, we get Season 5 Reloaded, where basically nothing changes. It's minimal content, it's minimal actual patch notes, very minor meta shifts. They don't help themselves here. They're not doing themselves any favors by not really paying much attention to the current game that's currently on a downward decline and snowballing month after month, despite the fact that they had a golden opportunity to establish hype on Verdansk's return and continue it. So TLDR, long story short here, the present times for COD are in a rough spot right now. The community sentiment is low. Like, just, it's very obvious across the board. And you look at sentiment on social media, when you look at the player counts that we've got, it's not great in COD as it stands right now. And then you look towards what's coming next, and the hype is also not really there. And part of that is just because we haven't had too many reveals. Like, it's absolutely possible it changes once we get next, once we get the beta and hands on there. But Call of Duty not doing themselves any favors. The present looks like it's not doing super great, and it doesn't just look like, it feels like it's not doing super great, I should say. And the near future looks like it's not doing super great. So they have to have some kind of dramatic shift here in perception, in sentiment, in all of it. And it comes by action. we've heard some words so far in their response to carryover, which also has now had even more backlash because of like zombies players wanting carryover, but multiplayer not. Like, it's a whole mess there. Everything going on with Black Ops 7 being futuristic and not really core Call of Duty gameplay like what we're used to seeing. They've got to respond in a major way here. Maybe it's with Season 6 that gets things in present time turned around for Warzone and Black Ops 6, because there are some cool updates coming with that, but they got to do something there. Otherwise, this game's just going to slowly bleed out over the course of the next few months as we all wait on Battlefield 6 and Black Ops 7. And with Black Ops 7 perception, next kind of has to knock it out of the park, because we all saw the response to the original reveal trailer and everything there, right? Like, the beta has to be really solid, or they're, you know, feeling all the pressure from Battlefield 6, and their own community is not really thoroughly impressed by anything going on as well. So it's a rough time for COD. Like, they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. They've been here before, though. Things have rebounded just fine. It's just going to be a matter of time's going to tell here. We're going to see. But as it stands right now, Call of Duty really feels like it's down bad, really in a way that it hasn't been before. Like, we were down bad for a little bit back in Vanguard, and the game was really broken and busted, and there were a lot of issues. And then Modern Warfare 2 completely took away Warzone's core identity, and it felt like we were down bad then. Black Ops 6 really is reaching new levels, and not in a good way, right? So hopefully they can turn it around. I'll be watching. I'll be posting. If they do, if they don't, there will be plenty to talk about either way. If you guys want to stay up to date with it all, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you guys enjoyed this video, you want to help share it around, a great way to do so is by dropping a like on it. That's going to wrap things up once again. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. I'll catch you later. Peace out.